Having a good one?
I think I got them. What do you call them? Corn.
Can't go in. You just can't.
I am glad there is still a reliable source of news in the settled systems, though it often travels significantly slower than light.
Do you have a story for me or not? Welcome to SSNN, where the news never sleeps. If you're part of the David Barron fan club, try not to inflate his ego too much. He's liable to burst.
That's all I can do.
You are the best!
Of course you do. Let's take a look at you. You're not from around here. My guess is you really work for a living. I bet you have a story or two. I have a feeling about such things. Tommy? Tommy did something useful? So you must be the captain of the... Frontier? Rumor is there was a firefight at a mining installation. I'm interested only in primary sources. So things you've seen and or done that are newsworthy. No hearsay. So, what do you got for me? You certainly get around. I'm surprised that branch has any customers left, the number of times it's been held up. But I thought the Rangers had finally managed to get a handle on it. I heard there was a standoff. That true? I'd say I'm surprised, but this is my total lack of surprise face. What happened to the robbers? The Shaw gang? You did what? I mean, you're well spoken, But a hostage negotiator? I'll do some research and make sure that checks out. These things are often messy. Any customers or Galbank staff get hurt? That's really good news. Usually, well, it's a different kind of story. You were there. You were involved in resolving it. Any comment on the Freestar Rangers? Having another high-profile robbery in their own backyard is a bit of a black eye. Huh. That's really good to know. Stories like this always fire up public outrage and appetite. Thanks for the interview. And take this. You talk and get paid, I spread the news. It's a classic win-win. Looks like some Crimson Fleet brainiac figured out it's easier to hit stationary targets than dogfighting in the field. And you are an eyewitness with the courtesy to find us instead of being chased down. Refreshing. So what were the pirates doing there? It's not their usual MO.
Oh, yes. I am not quite sure I have heard this entire story.
Bad blood between the fabled Constellation and the Crimson Fleet? Has all the markings of what we in the SSNN call a story. So what's your role in all this? Part of a tour group? I'd tip my hat, but I seem to have misplaced it. Your people pulled a hell of a thing off. So we've covered the basics. How about any harrowing tales of daring do? How'd a bunch of miners triumph? Huh. Sounds like a good outfit. The heroic miner is a good angle. This is a good local story. Plucky miners band together and punch above their weight. If you ever get more stories like this, drop by. And take this to cover any incidentals, or other creative ways to pad out an expense report. You have another story for me? Dear Lord, everyone wants to know about Baron. He's a smart guy. He cares about what he's reporting. He's way too damn cozy with the UC, and that's a problem for us staying impartial. My biggest beef with him is he's credited with everything he reports, and he doesn't lift a finger to correct that impression. We're short-staffed, overworked, and trying to report on a million things at once. Not to mention there's a constant battle with the powers that be to maintain our journalistic principles. So, things are just swell. I'm working on an investigative piece about some of the businesses in the well right now. Trying to get a handle on how things are in that part of the city. I'm not sure the story will get off the ground, though. I asked the higher-ups if I could go down there for some interviews, but they said it's too dangerous. They'd probably be all for it if David asked. Would you really? I'd owe you big time if you did. You've been a huge help on my other stories. I'm sure you'd do great. Great. I had 3 interviewees in mind. Teresa Mason, the owner of Kay's house, Henrik Zoran at Apex Electronics, and Nurse O'Shea from the Med Bay. You don't need to ask too many tough questions. I just want to read on how their businesses are doing, and how things are in the well. I really can't thank you enough.
Please tell me you're not here to see Mr. Barron.
I am thankful these rides are quick. I do not like being in small, enclosed spaces with many people I do not know.
So much to see. So much to know.
Come on, seriously? What?
Always nice to see a fresh face around here. You stop
Yes?
in whenever you'd like.
Back to it then.
Everyone's welcome, so long as you keep no shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. Keeps us on our toes. Nothing else. Mom, that's Kay, gets all the credit. Started making sure people felt welcome back when I was just a kid. She had one rule: no causing trouble. Everyone abided by it, put their differences aside when they came through the door. After a few years of feeding so many mouths, we needed extra credits to stay afloat. Didn't mean for this to turn into a business, but here we are. If folks are willing to pay a little to have someplace to feel safe and get a decent meal, well then, we'll sure take it. Absolutely. I'm sure my mom would be proud to have the place featured in an article. What's up? Same as ever. I've lived in the well my whole life, and things have never really changed. The UC government promises to clean the place up every couple years, but there's still just as much crime and poverty as there was when I was a kid. That's why Kay's house is so important. It's the one place people in the well feel safe. Be sure to put that in the article, okay? I'm really proud of it. Yeah, sure thing. I'm Teresa Mason, and this is my home. My mom's the Kay who founded Kay's house. I grew up here along with the business. My mom passed the place on to me when she decided to retire. Running it is my pride and joy. I've put everything I have into it. Business is steady, as usual. We don't tolerate violence or disrespect, so a lot of folks like to spend time here. The only thing that's worrying me is a new group of customers I've seen hanging around lately. They've been watching the UC surplus store pretty closely. I have a bad feeling they might be planning something. Kay's house has a reputation as a safe place. I don't want to be associated with that kind of thing. Honestly, I'd really appreciate that. I'd feel terrible if something happened and I hadn't done anything to try to stop it. Why don't you come by when you have some spare time, and we'll talk it out. Great. Let me know when the article comes out, will you? I'd like to read it.
No loitering. Can't say I'll have what you need. But you're welcome to look. Yep, you got it. Nope. No question, business has been slow lately. Not too worried, though. Managed to make ends meet for a good long while. Don't expect that to change now. That's so. Think folks down here are too poor to afford electronics. Not the first time I heard that line. Yeah, I get that kind of attitude far too often. You find yourself with any more commentary, feel free to keep it to yourself. It's fine. Just maybe give things an extra thought before you let them roll right out of your mouth. A reporter. Fine, but I'm only talking basics. I don't like people snooping around my business. How the hell do you think? Life's a mess down here. I'm not holding my breath for it to get any better. Name's Henrik. I own Apex Electronics. That's all I'm willing to say to some nosy reporter. Door's still open, isn't it? That's my idea of success. Sorry if you were hoping for something more flowery. Great! Now why don't you help me out and buy something? I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
What do you want? I'm very busy, as you can tell.
We're doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Funny story about that. You know, when people first arrived on Jemison, they dismantled the colony ship and used the parts to establish a place to live. Over time, they built out, and up, and up, and after long enough, they started to forget about the people and the things still down here. The walls and the ceiling have changed, but this place still uses equipment from that old ship. And it's here because not everyone in New Atlantis can afford Reliant Medical. Don't have much of a choice. Can't afford to pay staff, and while I've got a few volunteers from the community, I can only ask so much of them. We've scraped by for a good long while now, and we'll continue to do so. Don't you worry. We're no Reliant Medical down here, but if you've got credits, I might have something for you. Journalist? That's a surprise. Most people don't think anything that goes on in the well is worth writing about. I'd be happy to help if I can. Things are always rough at the med bay. I'm the closest thing to a doctor that the well has, and I can't treat everyone. The last few weeks have been especially bad. There's some kind of infection going around, and a lot of kids down here are catching it. It just breaks my heart to see. Oh, you're sweet to offer. There might be something you can do, if you're willing. Let's chat again when you have some time to spare, all right? Sure, if you'd like. My name's Talia. I was born and raised right here in the well. I've been the nurse here at the med bay for over a decade now. Once upon a time, I was a combat medic for the UC Navy. When the colony war ended, I came back to the well to put my skills to use for the people here. Things are always the same in the well. Violent and dangerous. I swear I treat more injuries here than I did when I was a Navy medic. All right, dear. You let me know if there's anything else I can do for you.
I think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
Holy shit!
My boss says that if I buy enough of our merchandise, she'll give me a promotion.
Atlantis security! Stop!
It's not like we're doing
it. If you have a news... My source is back. Here to report anything else? Hey, that's great. Thanks so much. Did everything go all right? It's that bad? I'm glad I'm writing this story then. Maybe the government will finally make good on their promise of cleaning things up down there. I can't thank you enough for helping me out. I'll send you a copy of the story if it gets published. There's nothing like seeing your name in print. Back to the grind.
We're hiring if you're interested. Ask in the security office.
Telling you, Bianchi, something's wrong with the boots you sold me. I wear them to the metro. Suddenly, the shuttle runs late. I buy a cup of coffee, and the barista screws up my order. It's like I'm walking under ladders with a broken mirror in my pocket. And the only time it happens is when I'm wearing your boots.
So, what do you want me to do about it?
I want a damn refund!
Fine, fine. I'll take the boots back. Just don't tell anyone you bought them from here. Happy to make a deal. You need stuff, I need credits. It all works out. Personally, I think daylight's overrated. I get by just fine. A lot of people will tell you it's the worst. One step above being homeless. They'll whine about how folks topside have it so much better. Me? I like it. It's more real down here. Topside, everyone's trying to show how civilized and rich they are. Oh, it's exhausting. But hey, to each their own. Look around. You tell me. You see it's a big organization. A lot of planets, a lot of people, whole lot to keep track of. Sometimes they don't do such a good job of that. Sometimes stuff falls through the cracks, winds up collecting dust in some warehouse. But that's all right, because I, and by extension you, get to benefit. I make great deals on stuff in bulk, you get some low prices. Everyone wins. Ugh, right, the boots. I hate to admit it, but she has a point. She's the third customer to return the pair, all for the same reason. the boots might really be cursed. I thought about it once, but then I thought better of it. Best not to tempt fate. And besides, they're not my size. And risk releasing whatever's inside them? I've seen enough horror vids to know how this goes. Like most of my supply from one of my UC contacts. But after the second customer returned the boots, I got curious and I did some digging. Turns out they were seized from a House of Arun ship. That alone is enough to convince me something's amiss. I don't doubt it. Either way, it's bad for business. Hey, you're a pilot, right? Maybe you can do me a favor. I've heard of a UC station at the far end of the galaxy called the Den. You go there and stash these boots in a crate, and I'll give you credits as a compensation. Finally, someone to give these blasted boots the boot, if you pardon the expression. Here, I'll have your credits for you when the job is done. Stuff is legit. Always. You ask me, the real New Atlantis? Absolutely. Hey, take it easy.
Okay, now I've seen everything.
3 gunshot. If you need patching up, we'll see what we can do. Oh, you remembered. I'm touched, dear, really. Yes, there's absolutely something you can do to help. All the children seem to have the same stomach bug, but I'm having trouble diagnosing it. Pediatrics isn't my specialty. But one of my colleagues, Dr. Lebedev, is an expert. If I had his research notes, I'm sure I could diagnose the disease and find a treatment. He works topside at Reliant Medical. It's easy to find. It's right between Mast and Orion Tower. Dr. Lebedev is always there. I've seen an uptick in cases of sick children in the medbay recently. They all seem to be presenting the same symptoms, but I can't identify the cause. It isn't serious enough to kill them, but I haven't found an effective treatment yet. That has me worried. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'd go myself, but I can't leave the medbay unattended.
So, I sat down.
No, I'm not feeling that bad.
We have an appointment. We're seeing the doctor. That's it.
Some other time. I have an appointment.
Should you find yourself in need, medical supplies are available for purchase at, if I may say, very competitive prices. Welcome to Reliant. If you're in need of medical assistance or require supplies, I am sure we can accommodate you. Well, everyone knows Reliant, largest medical provider in the settled systems. They've spent decades advancing medical science with their research division, and have built an entire supply network to keep us all healthy. They've always been quite proud to work here. Well, of course, New Atlantis is a big place. Lots of people, which means no shortage of injuries, communicable diseases. But we're well staffed and do our best to accommodate anyone who needs help. Well, you've certainly come to the right place. A medical problem Talia can't solve. I never thought I'd see the day. How can I help? Sick children? Well, we can't have that. I'd be happy to help. Let's see. A stomach bug. I've treated plenty of those. I keep extensive notes. I'm sure I have something that can help. Ah, yes, here we go. This should do the trick. I've uploaded some of my notes on common stomach issues in pediatric patients to this slate. Please, pass it on to Talia. She can keep it. And give her my best, will you? I hope everything works out for those kids.
I also wish to be prepared for any situation, but there are... Did you need something? Very good.
You have to trust the science, the medical knowledge.
doing the best we can here. That's all we can ever do. Really? Let's see. Ah, this is perfect. I knew Dr. Lebedev would have what I needed. I'll have this solved in no time with these notes for reference. Thank you so much, dear. Really. I couldn't have done this without you.
Not sure if those Varun zealots live in space or got separated. Left over from the colony war. They like to pick them clean.
If you haven't, make sure you say hello to Mama. She likes checking in.
New Atlantis puts on a wonderful show of security.
I'd be there every day if I could afford it.
Just one quiet day. That too much to ask for?
Of course the United Colonies is paying close attention. Heaven forbid something escape their notice. Always a satisfying moment to return to your ship.
I'm working hard, Captain.
So, Sam, have you given any thought to what I asked you to do? You know I didn't mean it that way. I was merely suggesting that you allow Mateo look after her. Perhaps even have him continue Cora's education. education than any book. Haven't you ever considered how she feels about all this? We both want the same thing, Sam. We want her to remain safe. I can be sure that all of them is safe, so she stays with me. For some reason. But President Sun lost the faith. We're here, Cap. Pressure normalized, and we're docked.
Been up there, huh?
How about my...
I understand this station was once quite the luxurious place for UC military commanders. Based on what I see,
Hey, newbie.
I find that very hard
It's a nice set of boots you got there. They for sale? I'll give you, say, 500 credits for them. They'd look better on me anyway.
That's true, but if so, you're just as stuck out here as I am. So what does that say?
Great. I've been wanting a pair like that. Looks just my size, too. To be honest, I might have gone as high as $2,000. I'm not saying I ripped you off, but I'm sure as hell thinking it.
Stationed here long term, that means you're around these people. You're making them look bad.
Lieutenant Commander Marquez, I appreciate your concern, but I have an obligation to SSNN to report on what I see.
I'm sure they do know that, Holden. I'm just saying, maybe use a little more discretion if you report them. Maybe a lot.
Ahoy, Captain!
And we're away.
Welcome to Chunks. Please choose your chunks.
Definitely better than the last Interceptor.
But why did they replace the handler? I thought the actress was amazing.
She turned him down. She apparently signed on to do some Shakespeare film. King Lear, I think.
How many damn versions of Shakespeare?
I got contacts all over. Stock may not be so reliable, but I got ways of getting things. Yes, you did. You know how I know? The rain cloud over your head is all but gone. Here, for your hard work. With a Lady Locke back on my side, I expect the business to be less bust and more boom. And let us never speak of those accursed words ever again.
Everyone, no shortage of hungry mouths to feed around here. Keeps us on our toes. Nothing else? Yeah, you're welcome to some of whatever we've got cooking today. Would you? I'd really appreciate it. I saw them hanging around the UC surplus earlier today. They sure looked suspicious to me. They've been coming here regularly for the last couple weeks, and all they do is sit on the balcony and watch the UC surplus. I thought I heard them mention a robbery, but I'm not sure. They seem to know I'm onto them, so they stop talking about it when I'm around. I'd rather you didn't. I want to make sure I'm right about this before we go to security. But I have to be sure they're up to something before I get the authorities involved. I don't want to get anyone on security's bad side for no reason. Why don't you do a little sleuthing for me? Maybe you'll have better luck eavesdropping on them than I did. We can decide what to do once we figure out if they're really up to something.
It's nice to see a fresh face around here. You stop in whenever you'd like.
You didn't hear this from me, but
I don't know, Isaac. Seems like a tough joint to crack.
Nah, that's just what they want you to think, Louis. You see security around here?
No, but
nothing. I say we strike while the iron's hot. I got a feeling that goody two-shoes at Kay's place is gonna rat us out.
she was giving us some serious side-eye last time we were in there.
See? No time like the present. We'll do it tonight. It'll be fine, trust me. We'll be in and out in time to make last call at Jake's. Frick's info is good. This'll be a piece of cake.
I sure hope we can make it happen.
If you haven't, make sure you say hello to Mama. She likes checking in with everyone. Damn. I was hoping I had it wrong. I guess that settles it. We have to get the authorities involved before they can go through with the robbery. You should take this straight to Officer Endler at the security office. He'll look into it. If he gives you a hard time, tell him I sent you to make the report. That'll get him on your side. Sort of. He's a regular customer, and I've reported crimes to him before. He's more fair-minded than most of the Wells security officers. Head out the door and turn left. It's all the way at the end of the street. You can't miss it. Thanks. Let me know when you've made the report, okay?
Do you know why this place has stood for so long? I make sure.
Looks like you got a few diplomatic mission stamps in your file.
What I wouldn't give to be stationed in the Embassy District. Well, that's what we're here for. What's going on? The UC surplus. You sure about that? It's been a long time since someone was stupid enough to rob that place. That's so. Nobody in the Well's more reliable than Teresa. If she says there's a problem, I believe it. You could tell her I'm personally looking into it. That should ease her mind. Those thieves won't be so cocky with security on patrol.
Of course, the one thing the UC can manage to put is a security station down here.
Stop! In the name of the law! UC security, you're under arrest.
Not everything in the galaxy needs to come with us, you know.
Act natural. Security's coming.
That was quick. How'd things go with Officer Endler? I knew I could count on him. He always handles this kind of thing fairly. Thanks for your help with this. I feel a lot better knowing security's on patrol down there.
Stay as long as you like. And don't... be a stranger.
The Trade Authority deals in stolen goods, but no one's doing anything about it.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
Any adventure you can fly away from. Is that how the saying goes?
How are you, Dusty?
What do you mean?
Every single time I make a mistake, before I can say, oops, she's there and very politely, ever so patiently, telling me I made a mistake.
Aim point reached. Orbit stable.
To chef school?
I know Aquila City rather well. Perhaps better than I would like.
I'm Annie Wilcox. You're new in town, aren't you? That means I'm gonna keep my eye on you. In my line of work, you have to be. See, I work for the Freestar Rangers. I'm the first ever Ranger Surveillance Assistant. And that's not some dumb made-up title. Ranger Emma Wilcox gave it to me, so it's official. That's right. She's a senior ranger, which means she's in charge of me and all the other rangers. Well, except Diego, because he's a senior ranger too. Oh, and the marshal. He's in charge of all the rangers. I watch people and listen to them. If I hear something about smuggling or Aurora or gangs, I tell the rangers. It's easy, because no one pays attention to kids. Plus, I know a lot of good hiding places all over the city. I'm the best Ranger Surveillance Assistant that ever lived. Someday, I'll teach other kids the tricks of the trade. Gotta prepare the next generation, because I won't be here forever. So what's it gonna be? Are you gonna be a law-abiding citizen? Or are you gonna be on my list? My list of people who might be troublemakers, so I have to watch them extra close. You don't want to be on my list. That's the right answer. I just hope you mean it. Aquila City is just crawling with crime. It's everywhere. And it's up to us Rangers to do something about it.
And Ranger surveillance assistants.
Someone's stealing guns and stuff from Laredo Arms.
And none of the adults believe us.
So we're hoping, you know, you can help us break it all open. Because they're dumb. I gave security a whole list of crimes and leads, and they barely pay attention anymore. I'm practically doing their job for them. Emily was right about you. I was doing my ranger patrol one night, and there was a suspicious character casing Laredo Arms. I watched him as long as I could, but I had to rush home for bedtime. First thing in the morning, I came back and interrogated Justin Sneed. And he said they were tracking down an inventory discrepancy. I told him about the suspicious stranger, but Mr. Sneed didn't believe me. Exactly! This case was too big for just one ranger, so I deputized Emily.
I'm an assistant ranger surveillance assistant.
Or, something like that. And we found out that the thief breaks in most nights. Like, really late. He's got his own key card. We just need to catch him. Security will believe you. We did all the things. Crime scene investigated. Witnesses interviewed. And suspect tailed.
Very thorough and quite impressive.
I followed the suspect all day. He had no idea.
Emily caught him opening the side door one night. That's when we knew for sure we have an actual criminal here. You're doing Aquila City a big service. Best I figure he's there around midnight. You need to wait for him to exit Laredo, then catch him red-handed. We need to bring him to justice.
I'm so screwed. What? Shit. Yeah? I won't. Oh, God. This can't be happening. Oh, God, no. Security. It was supposed to be an easy job.
Don't anybody move. Let's see. If it ain't the hero of Galbank. And who do we have here? Looks like you're carrying a lot of weapons for a nighttime stroll.
Hell, I give up.
Smart move. I got a tip something was going down tonight. Was little Annie actually right about all this? Now that's a terrifying thought. I got it from here. Aquila City owes you again. And, thank Annie for me. Dear God, she's never gonna let us hear the end of this.
The rock is...
Hey, deputy.
Welcome to the Rock.
If you're looking for the Rangers, check the upper levels.
I'm proud to be helping the 3-star Rangers.
Excuse me.
Deputy?
Did you catch the thief? Tell me it worked.
Annie, what are you doing up? It's way past your bedtime.
Mom, I have to know. You got him right? Right? I knew it!
Annie L. Wilcox, what did you do?
I told you about it. You know the Laredo robberies? Well, we caught the thief.
Wait, so that's real?
Of course, Mom. I told you.
She's telling the truth. You're not pulling my leg, right? Oh boy. Annie, we'll talk more about this later. But I'm proud of you. But you've got to be careful.
Yes, Mom. I'm gonna be the best Ranger surveillance assistant ever.
Thank you for helping my girl and anything else involved. Take this. Lord preserve me.
Thanks for all your help on the Laredo cable. Maybe we'll work together again.